So it was more about me coming outside of myself. And Atlanta was like, okay, I'm out here, everybody fighting for the same thing. It's like championship game. Both teams pray to God. He got to choose one of them. So I'm like, we all fighting for the same thing.
Yo, what's up, fam? It's your boy Bimma. Now, let me just say, I've been listening to a lot of R&B lately, specifically the ladies, Summer Walker or Ari Lennox, SZA, her. They're all dropping really great music, but when it comes to the fellas, I'm pretty curious to see who's gonna step up and become the next king of R&B. After seeing Usher's amazing performance at the Super Bowl, it's got me thinking, right? Like, who's next? Now, there's a lot of great music out there right now, from Sir to Brent Faiyaz and even Forbats. The talent pool is really deep, but one artist, Lucky Daye, he believes he stands above the rest, but he doesn't want to be put into a box. With his new album, Algorithm, it could be the moment that he takes over the charts. His music is deep, complex, and it hits you right in the feels, but what about the man behind the music? What's his story? What drives him? On this episode, we're sitting down with Lucky Daye to get the real, from his creative process, his ambitions, and the journey from homeless to actually arriving. I'm so excited for you to join us for this chat. This is Bars and Nuggets on Amazon Music. Let's dig into it.
All right, Lucky Daye, everybody. Y'all make some more noise for Lucky Daye. Oh man, how you feeling, man? You know, you've been releasing some new music. You've been getting into your new pocket, energy. You know, how would you describe, your energy today?
I would say it's electric. I would say it's fierce, unapologetic, and like fashion forward. Like I try to go to the end of everything, just to come back and tell people it's safe at the edge of the earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm the guy you send out. So
I'm send out to see what's out there.
Yeah, I'm feeling charged up. You heard me?
Talk to me a little bit about when you think of the music and your process. Are there still elements of New Orleans that come into your process these days, or whether it's outright, direct, or maybe subliminally?
Yeah, I would say so. Especially my harmonies and the way I create music. I try to create it in a way where it's not linear. And I come from a well-rounded place. Like, it's just a place where you're allowed to do all type of music anytime, because the music that's there was left there because of the history of Louisiana. So it's kind of more about, being different and being yourself down there. And I kind of bring that with me to being myself. So the more like boring and straight people go, which is cool, because, we need the gray area lifestyle as well. But I'm the hot and cold lifestyle. I'm, not always gray area. I'm not gonna hit you with the straight. I'm gonna go like there and then there and then there. I'm a ping pong. So I think I bring that element of just like freedom. I don't feel scared to be free.
Yeah. The thing that you mentioned there that really stuck out, because you've had other conversations where you've spoken about like not wanting to be like genre defined, like not wanting someone to say Lucky Daye is an R&B artist. I feel like a part of that, and maybe you can elaborate, it just came from about how you were exposed to all these different types of music.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard, I feel like, for you to just be like, no, I'm just this.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't really care what box people put me in. I care less what anybody else is doing. At this point, like I'm trying to stay focused on what God got for me. So, what people thinking, what people want to put me in because of whatever reasons, really don't, it don't budge me really no more. Because I'm focused. Yeah.
Was there a transitional period for you where you maybe have been in a space where you were like concerned about that, whereas now, it really sounds like you're coming from a place of like, no, this is what's in me. This is the direction I'm going, and this is what it is.
Most definitely. Like trying to get in, you want to fit in. You want to show people that's watching, the people that already like the people you're trying to be like, that you can go with them. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go with them. And especially being like a black artist, it's like an unspoken rule. Don't do pop. first.
Huh.
Like, because
Wait, what do you mean?
it's an unspoken rule. You're not gonna get accepted. It's not the way you go. So the only way to go is to go through what looks like where you're supposed to come through. And it's not about this or that. It's about what people perceive. Like if I buy a dog, I'm gonna be weird if he start walking on 2 legs every day. I'm just be like, that's not a dog. You know what I'm saying? That's not a dog. He look like a dog, but that's not a dog. He quacking and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a dog. But of course, like when you start, you want to be like, let me respect the industry standards and be like, what, and give them what they say I'm supposed to, what it looks like I'm supposed to be. And then that becomes a word, and then you start worrying like, damn, am I sacrificing what I really want to do? And then you go, damn, am I starving my fans? And then it's like all these thoughts, boom, 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 boom. But I got to a point where it's like, it's no more trying to fit me in the box. I am the box. I do what I want to do. And if people want to get in the box, just get in the box. I got space.
He said, I got space.
I got space.
Man, I feel like he got these clever words. Like, this that writer, the writer in him. No, I can understand that, right? Because it's at some point you're like, yo, I want to get in, but once I'm in, then I want to shake the table, reestablish the table, build my own table, create my own box. So what's in the box then? What's in this new world of Lucky?
That's what's hard for people to discover, being locked in a genre. They don't get a chance to find out what that box is. But in my box, I'm showing what's in my box on my new album. I never thought of just making a album where it was just celebratory, happy, fierce, making people feel good. I think, like in my mind, pain always resonate with me the most. Just like with everybody else. Like you remember the songs in your life where you felt the most pain or the most feeling as a child, or as any time you grew up. You got punched in the face while End of the Road was coming on, you probably know all the words. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything that hits you. That's why people like songs from their childhood, because that's the times where they hurt the most, they felt the most, they was happiest, and people, they stop loving music as they go. And for connoisseurs, it's like it never ends. So it's like it's an ongoing like need and yearn. So we don't stop.
You don't stop.
Yeah.
You touched on something that triggered a memory when I was doing more looking into your story, and it was, you had gotten into your grandmother's record collection after she had passed. What are some of those records, or even a record or song, that stands out to you, whether it reminds you of her or reminds you of a completely different moment?
Well, that was my pop's mom's. She passed, and I went through a lot of her stuff, and like it was a bunch of like gospel. But then she had she had like Tupac right next to the mass choir, and then she got like Funkadelics and these other people that I never heard of. She even had Lauryn Hill in there. I was like, oh, okay. You one of the people that put the gun in the Bible. Like, I know what you doing. So she just had like a secret collection, and I got them hanging up on my wall. I definitely learned a lot about her, because I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with her. Yeah. But it was amazing for me, and I'm happy that her sons didn't pick up her storage. Thank you. I did.
Because that records those would have disappeared. You wouldn't even been able to piece together, some of those pieces. Exactly. What was the time like after Katrina and having to move to Atlanta? Like, how did that impact you as an artist? How did that impact you as a writer? Right, because now your day to day had been in New Orleans, and maybe you've been to other places, but now you're in a whole different culture. Yeah. Right. What do you remember picking up from that culture?
Man, I remember that time being hell. It was just like people I didn't know trying to figure it out, and people seeing. The thing about it is they see your potential, right? That the potential you don't see, and they know how to use it.
So you felt like people were trying to use you,
and they're not afraid to use it because they have nothing to lose. You have something to lose, which is everything that you're working for. So it's hard to see like the full potential. So when I went to Atlanta, and was just trying. It was more like, can I get on versus I'm him. You know what I'm saying? And that was me in Atlanta, and looking for people and people, I guess using me how they need to use me. But as long as I was getting money, I was fine, you heard me? Because I'm by myself and I'm a teenager. So I'm like,
Oh wow.
all right, bet. So I had so many like ups and downs. I mean, fights, friends, parties, downs, ups, lows, everything. But Atlanta, it built me. Like it built me as far as like knowing what to and what not to do, knowing what people see and what people don't see, like perception.
Yeah.
Not only what I see about me, but what I look like to people. So it was more about me coming outside of myself. And Atlanta was like, okay, I'm out here, everybody fighting for the same thing. It's like championship game. Both teams pray to God. He got to choose one of them. So I'm like, we all fighting for the same thing. So I mean, something got to cut through. And it ain't prayer, it ain't none of that, because we all doing that. So then I started realizing like, oh, it's me. I gotta do it. So Atlanta became just like, let me build my own foundation and build my own friends, find my own confidence, and find my purpose and go. Like,
sheesh. And you're doing that, like you said, you're doing that as a teenager.
yeah.
So in that time period, you said like you said it was just you, and there's a lot of things that you had to do. And so I'm curious to know, the person that went from New Orleans to Atlanta, those are two different people.
Yeah.
So what did you learn during that time when you were in Atlanta that you felt like these are new skill sets that are going to help me get to the next place I'm going to go?
That what I thought was love in New Orleans, I found out it wasn't what I thought it was once I got to Atlanta. Because when you at home, it's family love. It's like, I have to love you regardless because we blood. It's like, I have to. When you're not, it come and go. So it's like, it's more, and it hurt more. Like Atlanta hurt the most. Yeah, it hurt the most. I tried everything. I tried love. I tried friends. Every single thing I could think of to make me feel like I'm becoming a man. I tried it. Yeah.
And you felt like it just it wasn't receiving you.
Most times because I didn't know how to, go at it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't receiving me because I wasn't doing it right. Yeah, I didn't know how.
Wow.
I don't know, Atlanta was crazy, but it's just all a part of the journey because the whole point of this whole, I guess, for visual appearances, for this whole pyramid is just my purpose in music, and all of this stuff happens, and I guess it just builds what you see right now. But yeah, Atlanta was it was good. It was a building process for me. And it gave me enough energy to drive 36 hours straight with no sleep to LA. That's how angry I was. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I made it to LA, and then I did everything I tried to do in Atlanta, but better. Because I realized life wasn't a circle. It was you know what I'm saying?
You elevate. Yeah.
So I got to keep doing the same shit, but keep doing it better. You know what I'm saying?
What were the things that unlocked here in LA that just wasn't happening in Atlanta?
Well, I didn't react. In Atlanta, it was a lot of reaction because I was looking for an answer. Out here, I would just mess up the labels before they even asked me a question. So I would go to the label and sit there until somebody talked to me. So it wasn't no purpose. It was just like, I'm not leaving. Like they would call security, whatever. And I'm like, no, I need to see everything. I want to know who wrote this contract. I want to know who's doing this, who's doing that. Where's this person? Where's this person? Where's this person? And they would sit down and talk to me. So in LA, I just became I played offensive all my life. I didn't play defense. So I'm just like, now I'm just very active instead of reactive. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm aggressive about life.
Right, you're like, yo, this is what I want.
This is what I want.
I'm unrelenting.
And I realize if I don't choose one, I get nothing. Or I get what I don't want.
Or you get what you don't want.
Yeah. At least I can be happy with what I chose.
Well, speaking of directions that you chose and being on the offensive, you worked and wrote on Alien Superstar with Beyonce. Did working with Queen Bee change your approach or your creative process? What can you share about that experience?
A little bit. When it comes to like artists, she's like up there, right? Like I don't know what y'all think, but I feel like it's Michael Jackson and Beyonce, right? And nobody else. As far as like entertainers. Like when it comes to singers and songwriters and other stuff, then cool, it's other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when it comes to entertainers, they don't gotta play an instrument, blah, blah, blah. Entertainers, straight entertainers, just them two. But being with her, like working with her, It was pretty simple. It wasn't even hard. Like doing it to a point where I became a professional at it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to think too hard anymore. I used to think that I had to write a song that they would like, but I just had to write a song I like, and then they'll like it.
So it's funny you mentioned that because I've spoken to artists before, and sometimes you go into these situations and you believe like, oh, I need to shape it a certain way, but you're like, no, I had to just be
I'm
lucky.
the way. I'm the shape. I'm the shape. Yeah.
When did that unlock come?
In 2018 or 17 when I was sleeping on the military base.
Oh wow.
San Pedro. Yeah.
Wow.
I was homeless all my life. I just got a career.
Word.
Oh yeah. I'm a hustler.
Sheesh, man. So what were you doing sleeping on a bench at 18? That was the 36-hour trip to LA?
No, I was couch hopping in. I was straight because I drove it and I sold that car.
You know, the houseless part and not having a place and just getting a place, man. That's got to be really difficult, right? And like, I guess, is that the motivation at that point to make music? It's like to get out of that situation?
Yeah, I feel like God gave me this this thing inside of me that fuels. It's the thing. The thing that fuels me is playing. I feel like I'm playing catch up. Like I wasn't allowed to watch TV or listen to music or hit anything from 0 to 11. I feel like I've been learning music because I feel like I missed a lot of it. Anybody from like 10 years within, from here to anybody like 20, I don't relate to nobody from like 30 up. Because they mention stuff I don't know. They be talking about like movies I never seen. They talk about shows I never could watch. And I'm like, I really don't relate to nobody. So I'm in a limbo. My whole life been in a limbo. So it's more about where I fit in this world. So I just became the person where like I don't need an outside source to know who I am.
Like, do you feel like you have trouble connecting with other people for that reason? Because you feel like, one, you feel like you're catching up, and then two, you feel like y'all don't have a lot of things that you can connect with because of the things that you didn't connect with? And like, how do you spend time like trying to go get those things, or you spend time looking forward to get other things?
Both. When it comes to like music, I go back. When it comes to like philosophies or whatever, I go back. I try to match up what I think in my corrupt mind to what people thought. And then I'd be like, all right, find a medium. And as far as like everything else, I mean, at this point, it's easy because I don't worry about, I'm the type of person that don't worry about the soil. I just keep raining. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who's taking the information. I'm gonna just keep pouring it.
And it's gonna reach someone.
It's gonna hit something.
Talk to me about the music that's been really tapping into you as of late, right? Because, you know, I find that clearly you're not just listening to R&B.
Nah.
And then when you say that you know there are things that you're tapping into now, like what might surprise us about your musical interests?
My favorite song is Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams. I don't know if that's weird or not. But,
No, it's your yeah.
I've had a country #1. Ingrid Andress and Sam Hunt.
That you wrote.
So I mean I could do anything.
Would you ever come out with a country single?
It's hard to say that because like for some people that do music, like I understand like for some artists it's a reach for somebody to go to like another genre that people might think is weird.
Yeah.
But for somebody that has the gift to do just music, it's not much of a reach. It's just natural. So for me, it's more like, let me stay away from that so they don't think so. Versus let me try this. Like I'm trying to keep it like, but I don't know, man. Like the information comes really fast, really fast.
Luckily, we're gonna take some questions from the audience.
Hey, first, I want to say I already was a fan of your music and stuff.
Bless.
Since seeing you here, like you,
Yeah.
I respect you and I
Thank
appreciate
you, dog.
you, bro.
Appreciate
So
you, bro.
thank you for telling that. My question is, what is like, because knowing that you kind of made it like, especially in this industry, a little bit later than a lot of people would say, like, you're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? As far as that mainstream success, like, what was like your darkest, like, tipping point? Because like, you just said, like, oh, there was a point that you was like, either you're going to pack it up or you going to say, like, F it, like, we about to do this. Like, what was that for you, and how did you, like, just know, like, you know what, nah, like, it's go in or go home?
Well, my darkest tipping point, well, it was in LA. I was out here. I was still going to sessions, right? And I was in like a terrible situation. Not terrible, but terrible for me, especially with all this like purpose I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm stagnant. But I'm like doing that and struggling outside, ran out of money. You know what I'm saying? Dude from Atlanta got my bag, came out here, and I'm eating like celery every day. I even went on like I used going on a fast as an excuse to not eat because I couldn't afford food. So I would go on like water fast, and then like once it was over and I felt like okay, I'm gonna die. I started like buying like celery stalks. So I would just catch the bus to my sessions, buy celery, and that's what I would eat. And that was my lowest like point. Like I was like, I can't afford nothing, nigga. Like 69-cent celery stalks is all I can eat. And I would just hit that Ralph's over there on Fairfax, I think is on by the Shell station. That was probably the lowest for me. And I stood on one of the roofs of one of my friend's crib, and I was just like, I was like, I'm ready to die. Like I was just like talking to God, like I don't care no more. Like if I'm supposed to have a purpose, like you ain't showing me nothing. Like you ain't showing me nothing, and everything. I was like, I told him everything I felt. I was just like, my mom told me, don't question you, but I'm questioning you. I'm questioning everything about you. I'm like yelling at a star. and I'm like, if there's anything, any purpose for me to even be here, like, you're gonna have to like, I'm cursing, though. I'm like, you're gonna have to show me something. And I'm staring at the star, crying, and the star just like twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. Probably been twinkling the whole time. but when I seen the star twinkle, my whole body caught like chills. And I was like, oh, appreciation. I appreciate where I'm at. I'm in LA. I don't got nothing, but you know. And then I started like trying to read up and give whatever I had left to homeless people. And because that's what somebody told me to do. Like if you don't have nothing, give what you got to somebody that have less than you. So I started doing that and just saying like, you know, whatever. I'm gonna just do this album, take it home, put it out, because I ain't supposed to be here. And I was quitting. But that was my lowest point. And then Paint It came out. That's why I said my fans mean everything to me. They literally saved me.
Well, congratulations.
Wow.
And I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you for being vulnerable.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for sharing that, Lucky.
Damn, dog. Put my glasses back.
Talk to me about, you know, we talked about working with Beyonce. Are there other artists that you know, I guess maybe just give us a little bit more around your process. Like, do you prefer to operate more solo, just in your own world? Or do you enjoy, you know, working with other writers or even collaborating with other people?
I can get in trouble for saying it. But I love working with myself the most, by myself. But I try to understand like there's other ideas out there. And I also have like this sympathy thing in me. Like I'm super overly hyper empathic for no reason. I don't know why. But like it be writers and stuff that I know. And I'll be like, man, come on, man, like get on the album. You know what I'm saying? Like come get on the album, come do this, come do that. Cause I know how ruthless the industry is. But I mean, and they know, like, I don't need them to write it. But it's just like, we should all be getting paid. Like, we should all be getting money. And to see my friends that I came to LA, they was already writing. And then I'm like, I'm an artist and I'm seeing like, dang, they really don't, like, we didn't have no money. So, I don't know, that kind of sucks. But I write better alone. But it's more fun to write with people, no matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
Because I like to get in other people's head and like see how they'll put it together. And I'm a scientist. I'm really like a music nerd. Like I just want to see how you do it. I want to see your pattern.
Yeah.
I want to see your pattern. I want to take this. I want to put a little bit of that, a dash of that, mix it.
Mix it up.
You know what I'm saying? See what that sound like.
Yeah, it's 'cause you from New Orleans. You like gumbo.
Yeah.
What are there writers like that you think of today, or even in the past, that you really respect their pen or you admire their pen, and you're like, yo,
Hell yeah.
yeah, who are
James
some of them?
Fauntleroy.
Mm.
James Fauntleroy is like one of the coolest writers ever. I'm gonna say Stevie Wonder because he's just the greatest and he's still here and alive, and I love him.
Yeah.
Teddy Swims, Mickey Echo, Prince Charles, just so many.
Yeah.
There's so many writers, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's an enormous amount of writers out here that gets no love.
How do you get to a place where you go from, maybe not getting the love to a place where, like, when I see you right now and we talk about the energy that you're on, I think personally you're trying to go to like this place of superstardom. You know what I mean? You're trying to like continue to elevate. As you said, you feel like you're not making up for lost time, but you're like, yo, I want to.
Like.
It kind of feels that way. What does it take to make these types of growth transitions and expansions in a career?
Like a grounded mindset. Like you said, playing catch up is something I think about a lot, but I don't call it trying to play catch up in my mind. I just call it like learning things, because now I know a lot of stuff that people don't know, just because I felt like I was playing catch up. But it still it makes me look around and be like, yo, y'all dumb as hell, like, cause like I know this and you know what I'm saying, I got licked up, but it's really not like that. Just life is it just comes different to different people. And I just appreciate where life got me, and I'm just trying to live in it and just go. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to go. Like I'm not scared. I don't believe in the isms like everybody else either. Like I just don't.
What isms?
I don't play by the rules.
When you say isms, like what isms come to mind that you feel like? Nah.
None of the isms. Well, any ism you could think of. Ageism, racism, genderism. I don't play by none of that. Like I don't believe in none of it. Like I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is right now, bro. I don't know how old I am.
Yeah.
I don't like when people talk about it. I tune out because I don't live it. I don't live that. Like so, I'm just here now. That's it.
In the
and
present
in my mind,
moment.
we're all right now. And it's no. You might have more experiences than me, and you might be 15. So I can't go by that. Usually when people say I owed you, they don't have a follow up to that. They just trying to see where you at so they can compare where they at.
And it's you make an interesting point. Age doesn't also define experience or tell you anything about experience, right? It gives you a surface level.
Make you get old fast.
Yeah. Do you see yourself doing this forever, or do you put a cap on it?
It's no cap. A purpose is a purpose. Yeah. I'll be doing this forever. Yeah. And I'm gonna love it.
And you're gonna love it. Yeah. No, I feel you on that. I think what I'm resonating with so much in what you're sharing is you seem to have this mindset of like you always want to be in this process. You always want to be learning, whether you have to learn from someone that's 70 or you can learn from someone that's two.
A dog.
Is that a part of what you feel like is your operating system of continuing to grow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forever a student.
Where's that come from?
My brain.
We'll go here next.
Hey, my name is Sherelle Angelie.
Let's go get another hard question.
So you speak a lot, like you sing a lot on love, passion, and hurt. So my question to you is, what mirrors have been held up to you for you to be able to express the way that you express?
That's a great question.
It's a great question.
That when people ask me what my superpower would be, if I ever had one, I always say I would be a mirror to them. I'll be able to show them. But a lot of things, I've been shown a lot of things about myself. Like, you know how when you work out by yourself, when you don't have no coach, and you just end up with one big forearm and one
ab.
small one.
One ab.
That was me. Like, I was like,
I swear he got a career as a comedian in a whole nother life.
I'm strong as hell over here. But damn, this hurt. Why does this hurt so much? Because I'm weak in this area. I'm like, all right, bet. But it's always, I would say, like, people have shown me, it's not even about people have shown me. I didn't know how to see myself from people in the beginning, but I think that people showed me that, they showed me the empath side. Definitely had to get rid of pride, entitlement, because I felt like I could sing better than all these niggas.
Yeah.
Like, why am I not popping, right? So definitely, it showed me like humility, how to be of service. People showed me that I don't have to respond to everything. I think that was one of the biggest things that somebody put in front of me, to not worry about or like over explain to compensate defending whatever thought that I think somebody else might have thought. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. Like, ask me a simple question, I give you a simple answer. If you want to know more, you ask me more. But the only reason I over explain is because I don't want you to think that when I did it, it was this and it was that and it was that.
Yeah.
I don't care like now, and I think that a lot of people around me, they help me be able to see like just the confidence that I can have, the non-judgmental confidence, because if somebody else don't have it, I don't have a judgment. Like, I can help them build it. I can tell them about it 1 or 2 or 3 times, not get mad if they don't take it, still be their friend, know what they got. And I think like distancing is one of the most important things, and not being afraid of everything that people consider bad. Like, it's a lot of bad words that we see as bad that I don't think is bad. Like, I asked a girl before, would you ever cooperate with a dude, right? She's like, cooperate? No. I'm like, but cooperation just mean like teamwork, work together. But it's just certain words that we use that we just decide not to accept no more. Every comedian we know lies, right? But we don't look at it as a bad thing. And that's the only time we don't get it confused. But there's so many things that we say that is negative that's also created by God, and it's needed, just like the rain and the sun. Like, we need it all. And I think the biggest mirror in front of me was just like, no, non-judgmental, just confidence, saying whatever what's real, like honesty with no kickback. Like, who cares? Like, I don't care what nobody think.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much for your question. Talk to me about, I don't know what it's like to be, a musician on the road, getting all this different attention, but also trying to balance protecting your own, internal vulnerabilities and your family. How do you navigate those two things? Because I feel like the more visible you continue to get, the more folks continue to know who you are. How do you protect that? How do you navigate that?
I mean, I know who I am. I try to keep a relationship with all my family members, personal. Like, when I wake up, my routine is wake up, pray, brush my teeth while I'm calling my family. Like, I start with my pops all the way down, to the last person. And if I run out of time, I just stop, pick up the next day. I don't really judge it. I don't judge them. I understand them. I'm an understanding person. God told me that I have an understanding ability second to none. Yeah. So I just get them. I get them, and I know how to move in that. So I could just always make them smile and give them something today.
Yeah.
And that gives me something.
Do you ever feel concerned about like sharing certain things in music, but also trying to protect certain family members in the public?
No.
And feeling no.
Huh. No, because if they ask me, I could easily explain that music is an art.
Okay.
Music is an art like dance. When Michael Jackson grabbed his nuts, people got over it.
That's a hell of a reference.
art.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So, you know, don't confuse them. But some people, you know, they fake the art, and then you can't hold that too long. That ends. We see that over and over and over.
Yeah, you can't, like, it's after a certain amount of time, it's hard to keep up with a certain
Your
facade.
face gonna hurt if you keep fake smiling. You can't do it.
You can't do it. Literally, it's like, you know, you see people in like graduation photos. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
that
you
ain't
can't
real,
hold
boy.
that.
Your
Yeah.
eyes is lying.
No, it's no, that's genuine. That's like your references are hilarious.
I'm sorry, I got jabs.
No, you're good. Let's talk about some new music.
Okay.
Let's talk about Hurricane.
Yes.
Right. Tell me, where were you at where you were creating this, and like what's been like the process for that? Because I know we're talking about like this energy where you're like, you don't want to go into like, you said you've been in the sad space, you've been in the painful space, and right now you're in the joyous, celebratory, you know, live your life shit.
Be free. Be free.
So tell us about Hurricane.
Well, Hurricane is, I wanted that to be just an uplifting song. The space I was in when I started writing that was just like, I always start off talking to myself as if it's an out of body experience. And in my mind, I'm like, it ain't gotta be that difficult. I ain't average. Girl, you know I ain't that typical, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like bigging myself up. This is me building myself up to start the album.
To start the
And in my mind, I'm like, all right, it always goes to love, of course. And, you know, it's always been situations, and I take collectives from, like, feelings of either relationships or, like, other people's relationships. Even movies, I don't care. I'll ride down the street and write a song from a sign that I see. Because it tickles, you know what I mean? So, but, like, that space was just like, let me be happy. And then I found, like, in my mind, I was like, I started going back to the albums I remember, and I'm like, in 20, like, I think 2018 or something like that, I was listening to like George Michael album, Freedom. I was like, yo, this junk is happy. I don't know if I ever heard just a happy album before.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was sad that day, and I was just happy. I was like, I want to make something that people could listen to, and when they're not having a good year or a good summer, and just play that shit. Like, play that. Like, I got sad songs on all my other albums. This one I wanted to just like, I was trying to limit cursing, but I got a potty mouth, and that came out a little bit.
Why did you want to limit the cursing? What?
Because I still have this piece in my mind, how you were saying earlier, like, I want to have fans that don't like curse words. I want to fit in to some of these households that don't allow things, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like a lot of black people try to sound like country artists here. Because they want to fit in before they sing. And it works sometimes. The Bee Gees did it. The Bee Gees did it when they went #1. Everybody, it's not even from America. But the stuff they were saying in the song, I forgot the name of it, but everybody.
Staying Alive?
Yeah, it's Staying Alive.
Yeah.
Even my pops was like, well, I thought they was black. I was like, word, that's crazy. So, I mean, we do it, they do it, we all do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it works for some and it don't work for others. You know? For us, it works less a little. Just to be honest, it works a little less.
It worked a little less. Yeah.
So my name is Katera, by the way.
Hey, Katera.
I also want to tell you your bone structure is beautiful. Anyhow. It's good. Listen, I'm telling you, I gotta speak life. But in the state that we're in right now when it comes to relationships, you know, your music, I think, is one of the places where you really touch on relationships from a very authentic and raw and real way. I think that was the trend in, you know, the early 2000s, the 90s, but like the culture of relationships right now is very different. Can be negative depending on how you look at it. How do you feel as though your music still speaks to relationships and love and connection in a way that's authentic to you?
Well, I think that's a good question, by the way. I believe that music is one of the last things that embraces the angels in love and the demons in love. My first album, I did a lot of heartbreak because I'm allowed to, because I sing. And maybe my empathic ways will channel to somebody else and they'll feel the same thing I feel. And in return, it'll make me feel like I'm not crazy and the only person going through it. And times change, yeah, love changed, but That's why we keep singing about it. We never figured it out. Even since the very first song has been about love. How many different ways can we write about love, right? And we still don't have it because, whatever reason, everybody's their own individuals. But like now, love is just different. Like it's not better or worse. It's different. And I try to invoke like, here's the good side of love, here's the bad side of love. Here's the part I don't know and I felt unsure about, and this made me feel like shit. What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Like, and on this album, I wanted to just celebrate like knowing that love has all these sides, like, and not even be negative about it. A non-judgmental acceptance and being unapologetically on fire for life, for being yourself and for being in love for whatever situation. Like, but yeah, it's different, but love is still love. I mean, why? You in love?
No.
You not in love?
I'm not.
You don't want to be in love? Some people's purpose ain't to be in love. It's just to make a lot of babies or whatever.
Yeah. Then that perspective.
God made the devil. Don't blame me.
Yo, thank you for your question. What's this time you've been on? And I say time loosely because I know you don't do time, but there's been kind of this theme around arrived, right? And you've been really centering around feeling like Lucky's in a moment, right? It's time. What does that mean? Because we've known you for some time, but what does it mean for you personally when you say you've arrived?
It just means like I'm sure. I'm sure. I can listen to you tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and not have a rebuttal. I can listen to like what you think about me, not like it, and not have a judgment. Like, I don't care. I'm here. And there's nothing nobody can do. Like, I'm here and I'm not gonna not do what I'm here to do. Like, I'm just focused on where I'm at on the earth.
Yeah.
It's a big place, but it's a small place. It's small. But, I mean, it's big if you ain't never been nowhere.
Was there a turning point where you got to the place where you were sure? Like sometimes it's a moment in life that happens. Sometimes it's something that forced you into a different direction, or sometimes you just fed up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially family. You don't get what you want out of the situation most times when you're an artist. And, the fed up part, it usually comes from like rock bottom. So the fed up is like, it gives you this attitude of I don't really care what happens. And then the I don't really care what happens mixed with the I'm still gonna do what I gotta do. Now you fierce. Now you might make a mistake and you can't be prideful. Now you gotta find some humility and dump that in there. And then now you can walk confidently instead of cocky. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. Yeah.
Confidently instead of cocky.
Yeah. A fine line.
Yeah, for sure.
It can be perceived wrong.
Yeah, but I think it's also how you define it. Yes.
It's not about what they see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what you think about. Some folks classify some of your music as R&B.
Fair enough.
What do you think about the space right now? And some of you fits into that space. How do you feel about that? How do you see yourself in the space? How do you see the future of it?
Of R&B? I see the future of R&B as exactly what it's doing. Like, R&B is not supposed to be something that just always stays what it is. And I feel like everybody worried about R&B is R&B literally in everybody's faces. We looking for it in everything when it's already in everything. Like, country music is blues, rhythm and blues. Like, trap came from every hip hop song had a singing hook. Trap singing now. It's R&B. It's like a whole field of just grass. And then they want to say like, what this little rose is over here is R&B now. Nah, this whole field is R&B. This whole field is R&B. You just want to focus on that little rose. But at the end of the day, Beyonce's still doing R&B.
I feel like it's always going to be, there's things that people can't define. And so especially folks that may not be a part of that culture.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just easier to point to the roles.
Yeah, it's easier. It's simple.
Hmm.
And when you can't define something, it's easy to just like let it be defined itself. And some people need, you know what I'm saying? It's people out here that need to be told what to do. Not because they're lower, they could be higher, but they just operate better at things that they're told to do. And it's people that lead better than that, better than they can intake information. Some listen well, some talk well, you know? And I think finding their places is the most important part. Like, a good leader knows when to follow and knows how to follow. A follower a leader that don't want to follow is actually a follower.
We all have to be led and inspired by something.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a person, whether it's a moment,
Yeah.
or whatever the case.
We are each other at the end of the day.
Absolutely. It's community at the end
It
of
goes
the day.
together. When one thing happened, everybody worried about it. Everybody talking about it. We all affected by everything.
Yeah.
You don't even have to put it on social media. We can feel it.
You can feel it.
Why the sky is cloudy today? Don't know.
What's your relationship with social media? How do you feel about it?
I like social media.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't be on there though.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you're not really, you pretty,
Yeah.
you know,
Like,
reserved from the social media standpoint.
I like to go through people's algorithms. I'll be like, let me see your phone. And then go to the explore page.
Oh, yo.
I'd be like, oh, this is what you be thinking about.
You be judging
I
people
can see
explore
what's on
page?
your mind right now.
What if it was just that day and they was just talking about something and then it heard it and then, you know, it changed their whole, you know.
That's the
algorithm.
whole point of the album. The thing about the algorithm is whether you want it to be in your life or not want it to be in your life, if it is in your life, that is part of your algorithm. The album is algorithm, and everything we doing right now is algorithm. That's just showing you what it looked like in your brain. It's just showing you what you allowed your friend to send you that you clicked on. It's in there now. So why? Of course it's gonna be in there. You clicked on it.
You clicked on it.
It's
Even if
in
you
there.
spoke about it, it's
If you didn't want to do it, you clicked it. You clicked. You clicked it. It's in there. You shouldn't have had that friend.
What's your algorithm?
My algorithm, girls working out a lot. Affirmations. Snoop always pull up on my algorithm. I don't
Uncle
know
Snoop.
why. A lot of my peers, and then like, I don't know, food.
So you've had, you know, this career that's continuing to evolve, and you're at a place where you feel like you're arriving. If you could share something to younger Lucky, what would you have shared? If you shared something with Lucky in Atlanta, if you shared something with Lucky in New Orleans, what would it be today?
Nah, I would just say don't stop. Don't stop is literally, it sounds so simple, man, don't quit. Jay-Z told me that. The first time I met him.
So you went to the dinner?
No.
You didn't take the 500K?
Nah. It was at something back in Atlanta. Some company called Compound had like this performance thing, and he was backstage. I was excited as hell. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, man. If you got any advice and shit. He was like, actually, I didn't even ask for advice. He walked up to me and said, I heard you. He said, I heard you. Keep doing what you're doing, don't stop. That's all he said. And I took it with me.
I mean, that's the thing.
That's
Some
what-
of us stop
that's all I
before
would
we
say.
get, you know,
I
we
think Jay-Z
stop.
was my older self telling my younger self that.
That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. But no, I love, and what I resonate with it so much is like so many people stop before right before because there's this idea of time
And money.
and money. Yeah, I mean they're real. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it is like life's not as simple as like just showing up and yeah, you get to go do your thing. Like, there are real challenges, as you already shared in your own story, that can impact it. But if you could still muster the energy and the courage and the strength to keep going.
The inner strength. Like, everybody want a dog. But do you need a dog? Why you didn't need a dog? Like, do you need some emotional support? Like, it's just a lot of things inside ourselves that we don't want to see. And, you know, at the end of the day, we can't judge the people that don't want to see them. We just have to look at ourselves and know what we want. So once we figure out what we want, then, you know, we could decide whether what we have around us is good or bad for us.
That's beautiful. Man, Lucky, thank you for sitting here, chilling with us,
Anytime,
answering
man.
my questions.
Next time you gotta have some weed.
we can arrange that. Y'all make some noise for Lucky Daye. Lucky. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
My bad. Thank you. Yes, sir.
No, I mean, I thought it was dope. I love the fact that he actually took his glasses off.
He put them back on. He was
But
like,
he had them on for a minute. Like he had took them off, and it felt like, I think it felt a bit more endearing. And maybe that was his point. I don't even know if that was intentional.
I think you gotta get that direct. When somebody's like asking, like, what's it like to be homeless? Like, you don't want to kind of have that mask up for that, right?
I mean, it'd be a little weird if you did. But no, I thought like that, when I think about the moments of the conversation, like that to me was one of the highlights of the moment, because he actually went into like the experience, like as much as he was willing to of it. And it was the most that I thought we'd heard about it, in that conversation.
Yeah, man. The funny thing that fans at home ain't gonna know is that they told us not to talk about the homelessness. But we got it in there anyway.
It wasn't us, it was him.
I think it was, you can see how open he was to talking about it. And I think that's like the nuance of this couch, and the experience you provide when you're in that seat, man. It's just like people kind of come in thinking that they want to talk about these one thing and stick to these key points. And then they get there and they realize like, nah, I'm amongst friends.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want to hold back in front of your friends. And I think that's a dope moment.
And then you also realize like people could put two and two together. Like, well, there's something missing in this particular section, right? I thought that was like the audience parts were like, I thought those are the highlights. But again, I think open to debate. I guess time will tell.
We'll see, man.
We'll see.
See what the shade room pick up.
Oh my goodness.
We'll see how that goes.
We'll see.